Welcome to my All Puzzles tutorial. This isn't exactly how I imagined it, but I got a little bit burnt out with making a script, so I just decided to freestyle it instead. So I'm going to first go through my world record in a minute, and then I'm going to try and go through the levels individually, and look at different layouts. So first of all, we're going to look at the layouts for iZombie that I decided not to take. So this one I didn't take because there are lots of the sunflowers at the back, and you really need a lot of sun to be able to make this level work. And the sun that you did have were guarded, as I like to say, by a snow pea and a squash. The squash will just instantly kill the zombie, which means you won't get as much sun as you'd like out of it. And the snow pea will obviously slow down the zombie. I mean, you'll get about half of the sun production as you would normally. But the main problem is all the sun in the back. This layout, I think I would take now. It's hard because this is fine. It is fine. You send one zombie here, and then it gets squashed, and then you send a footballer. It's these bottom three layouts. You really need a footballer, and you only start off with 150 sun. But you could just send the zombie up the top and then put a football zombie down here, and then put football zombies in these rows. So you could work off this layout. However, it would probably be a bit slow, which is why I didn't take it. This is the layout I ended up going with, and that's all that's slow. The reason I did it is because there's a lot of sun at the front. And the squashes are also quite, like, they aren't all the way at the back, and they aren't guarded with snow peas or anything. Although that isn't always as bad as people make it out to be. And also, both the snow peas are on the same lane, which means only one lane is getting slowed down, as opposed to two, which would be much worse. You really want to use the faster zombies, like double speed, so like ladders, footballs, pole vaulters whenever you can. Just put that. Free Wonder is a very hard level. It's probably the hardest in the run. Maybe all your brains is. I didn't take this layout because, well, honestly, it seems like a fine layout. There isn't enough sun at the very front, but there's quite a bit of sun in the second part. So what I could have done is I could have maybe done 2 imps up here, get that sun, and then a ladder here because this is out of range from the magnets, and then some imps here to break down the walnut, and then activate the squash. And also this magnet is out the front, so I could have worked off this, but not good enough, I decided. This layout, there's just not enough sun. There really isn't. And this magnet is very annoying. The only walnut you'd be able to get rid of is this one with the ladder. Basically, it's just not good enough. This layout is very good. This is actually a misplay. I shouldn't have put a cone edge. If there's just one pea shooter, you can get like on the second column here. You can get rid of it by just placing 2 imps. The rest of it is very good though. There's a lot of sun in a single row with no firepower in it. And yeah, on the whole, it was just a really good layout. So I'm glad that I reset for it. And as you can see, I'm using ladders again to both avoid the walnuts and because they're fast. They're very fast. They're the best for when dealing with firepower, and you want to go fast. Otherwise, you use the imp. This layout, what you want to do in all your brains is pay very close attention to the sun and the 3-peater. The rest doesn't really matter. The magnet is the next thing you want to look out for, but you can always just bungee it, like you see me do there. So you can use the footballer to go faster. And instead of using 2 imps for this final potato mine, I'm actually using a vaulter. Not only does it save 25 stun, but well, that's basically all it does. But it also skips having to walk across the tile. So it's very minimal time save, but it's still time save. And me placing the cone head here was just a misclick. I meant to put an imp there. Yeah, this is a very annoying level if it doesn't go your way. Like, you can reset for ages, not get a good layout. You should also use bungees a lot more than I did here. And it takes about 7 seconds for the bungee zombie to take the plant up. Now for Ace of Vase, I break all of the vases instantly. And so that I can identify where I want to put the potato mine. Because you want to put it where the most zombies are. And also, again, something that a lot of people don't do is use the potato mine on the level. It's very good. It's an extra instant. Zombuggy is probably one of the most skill-based levels. One of the levels where you need to make choices extremely quickly. It's a very tough level. I'm thinking about moving it up, like, before Ace of Vase. So, basically, the only zombies you need to use are normal zombies and pole vaulters. Buckets are absolutely useless. And dancers are very effective, but they're also very slow. So if you're a beginner starting out and this level is giving you problems, then use a dancer, for sure. I decided that this row at the bottom was going to be too slow to just wait for this zombie. So I decided to act quickly, because if I had waited a little bit longer, then this pole vaulter actually might have gone caught in the radius of the potato mine when the normal zombie stepped on it. And then basically, you can send pole vaulters. When you're vaulting into a potato mine, you can send 2 pole vaulters back to back and only one will die. So that's just useful information. To the left, you want to break all of the vases until you come across all the buckets. Once you come across all the buckets, you want to immediately place potato mines. You don't want to focus on firepower or anything first. Your main priority in this level is to place the potato mines in front of the bucket heads. It's extremely important. That is basically the whole idea of this level, is find the potato mine, use them on the bucket heads. You also may as well slow them down. Like, there's really no disadvantage to it if they're that close. I'm actually gonna go back a little bit. For third vase, you want to break the vases from the front. You can see I'm doing that here. That's because of the dancer zombie. If you place Hypno in front of a dancer zombie, then it will stop, it will summon the backup dancers, and then it will eat the Hypno shroom. If you place a squash 2 tiles in front of the dancer zombie, it will be able to squash it without it summoning backup dancers. However, you cannot squash the dancer from behind, so it's incredibly important that you break it from the front. And also, something I don't see people use very often is the Walnut on this level. It's really good for grouping up zombies that you can then squash, like I'm doing here. Then you just focus on the normal zombies with your firepower. Dead Zeppelin is a very simple level, but it can be very annoying. Basically, you want to send normal zombies in rows with less firepower, bungee the cacti, and then send balloon zombies in the lanes that you can't use the normal zombies to destroy. If there's 2 pea shooters at the back, that's usually 4 or 5 regular zombies. If it's 2 in the middle, it's 3. If it's 2 at the front, it's also 3. If it's just 1 at the back, then it's 3 regular zombies. If it's 1 in this row, it's 2. There's 1 here, you can get through it with 1, but you should use 2 to get through it faster. Scary Potter is another simple level where just RNG can screw you over. Basically, you have enough tool nuts everywhere. You want to find the footballers and use the squashes there. And then just use a bunch of firepower on everything else. That's basically the entire level. Yeah, it wasn't that good in my PB because of that last zombie there. Can You Dig It is another very simple one. You can see I'm resetting all these layouts, and that's because they don't have at least 2 sunflowers at the front. If there aren't 2 sunflowers at the very front, then that's usually a reset. But it's a very simple rule of thumb. 2 flowers at the front equals go, no matter what. 2 sunflowers, not like just one sunflower means that you reset. But it's very simple. And then you basically just use buckets and diggers to speed up the process. Very simple level. Oh. Hokey Pokey can be extremely annoying. I've lost a lot of ones to it. I've been thinking about moving it up. Basically, when there's a lot of zombies on the lane, put a walnut. But that's really it. Put a walnut. Make sure to squash the bucket head. You don't have to use it on just the bucket head. If you can group them up with the walnut, then that's good, as you can see I'm doing here. Yeah. Simple premise. Me Smash. Oh, whoops. Oh gosh. Me Smash. If you see a squash or a Snoopy, reset the layout on these 2 rows. Like, there's no point in continuing it, especially if there's a Snoopy. If there's a squash at the very front, then you can continue it. Especially for that, I recommend putting like a bucket head on the garlic, and then the squash will recognize there's a zombie there, squash it, but the bucket will have moved down or up. So still get some use out of it. Use guards when there are squashes in the lane, especially when they're at the front, because they'll throw the imp, and sometimes you can get lucky, depending on the plants there and when they fire, and the imp will be able to make it to the brain without you even putting any more firepower in that lane. The rest is just using pole vaulters to speed up the process. Mars Waker is extremely simple. Find pairs of zombies and link them up with your Snoopy. I got very unlucky here, so I had to use a lot of firepower. And then just squash all the bucket heads, squash the pairs, and that's it. But yeah, I got unlucky there. Emmett Metal is another simple one. You find the footballers and you put pumpkins at the end of the lane, or at least where the last zombie is. And then they run towards them, you can group them up, and then you squash them. You squash them all together. It's extremely simple. I know a lot of people have trouble with that, and I think it's because they use the magnets a lot. You really don't need to use the magnets that much on this level. Another chain reaction is extremely simple. Just break everything. If there's a pair, squash it. Squash all the pogos first. And then put firepower on all the other lanes. And the same thing is essentially the same chain reaction, except for you hypno the footballer, you hypno the pairs. I could have waited for it, but I think that would have been too long of a wait. There's a 50% chance on whether the hypno zombie or the normal zombie will come out on top. Just put a push room in front of them, and it'll guarantee a win. Reset this layout if there aren't 2 sunflowers again. Also reset if there's 2 spike weeds and a snow pea on the same lane. Because 2 spike weeds mean that the screen door will die, and the snow pea means that the bucket head, which won't die from 2 spike weeds, will slow down. So basically, those are the only 2 cases you reset in. Every other case, it's easy. You just do the same thing. Put screen doors where snow peas are, bucket head at the top, and then back them up with other zombies. Totally nuts, you only need to use the ladder zombie a lot of the time. However, if there are 2 pea shooters like at above, if you put a ladder zombie and a normal zombie, as you can see I'm doing there, then that'll be good. That'll work. Then you can put a ladder zombie in the middle, get that, and then put 2 ladder zombies where snow peas are, which are the 2nd and 4th lanes. Extremely simple level. I don't know. Nope, and that's it. That's the entire thing. That's my world record. There you go. Now we're going to look at individual levels. So, nope. So one thing that is very important, especially with like 3-hit wonder, is the magnet ranges. So, let me just put that there. Magnet ranges, it's basically you're out of range once you're 4 tiles away, to put it very simply, for most cases. So, this is 1, 2. So, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Wait, that's the walnuts. So, in terms of walnuts, 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm doing bad here. I'm getting bad layouts of this. Okay. Trying to find a good layout for me to showcase this. Okay, if I do this, this seems like it's a fine layout. So, this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Oh my god, sorry for being an absolute idiot. Yeah, 5 away, so it won't be affected. Okay. And I'm trying to, again, it's really not wanting to cooperate. Okay, here we go. This is 4 away. So you can place the ladder there safely. Four away. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Four away, it's fine. Trying to find a specific example of this. Okay, nope, that's not it. because there's one example in which this doesn't work. This 4-tile wall, and it's very strange. 4-way, you can see there. That'll be a good layout. Okay, here we go. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. This should work. By all accounts, it seems like it should work. However, it still gets taken. So basically, when it's directly diagonal to it, it will still be taken away, even when it's 4 tiles away. Outside of that, it will never be taken, no matter what. So I want to look at Dead Zeppelin here. So usually, if there's a layout like this, a line like this, it's not worth it to put a load of normal zombies here. Instead, if you just place one regular zombie, you'll still be able to get all of the sun from that, so you'll get a profit of 150 sun. And then you can place a balloon instead. Also, when a cactus is at the front, it's better to place some regular zombies there instead of bungeeing it. Here, 3 normal zombies will be enough. And in this specific case, even though there's 3 pieces, basically, it's worth it to do 2 or 3 regular zombies so that you can get the cactus as well. Then you can bungee this. And then all that. This is also 3. This is 2, although you might want to do 3 just to speed it up. And yeah.